All right. So this is actually like the end of the podcast, but we decided that we need to record an intro for the people who don't know what we're talking about. So that's it. So to make myself...
From the heart, obviously.
So to make myself familiar to whoever's listening, you can call me Avi, and I'm a person who comes to this place. Sometimes we are sitting in this room in Sangha Cafe, which is also called Edans. They're kind of like a bit of rivals or collaborating. I don't know exactly. Maybe Marty can say it better.
No, not rivals. No, it's two foundations. The building is called Edans. Our project is called Sangha Cafe.
Yeah, so it's like a building. It used to be a school, and now there are all these activities happening here. And a few months ago, Marty and his team started this project called Sangha Cafe, and
So we started a cafe. Man, this is so.
It's basically a place to come and hang out, and it's like it kind of looks like a living room. There are all these tables and different rooms you can go in and sit and chill. And
I'm out of it.
Yeah, it's hard.
Should we do it again? Can we do it one more time?
No.
To this point, it was really good, actually.
Yeah, you did it really well, but I find it hard to put it in words.
Yeah, it's hard to define it.
Okay.
For me, like the most important thing is for people to be able to imagine it. So like describing it for me, it's the easiest way.
Okay.
Like.
So you describe yourself.
Yeah. What is physically there? Yeah.
Okay. Sangha Cafe. Yeah, the building is called Edans. There's also Edans also does host workshops here, and then Sangha Cafe kind of shares this building with Edans. And I am Marty. I'm the facilitator of Sangha Cafe together with Meek, Azer, and Yaman. We're like with the four of us. We kind of collaborate in this idea. So you can call me the initiator. And we want to create a cafe which has a lot of heart-based elements in it. And there's food and drinks, and then there's a certain special culture. And in this podcast I'm gonna talk about my experiences, what my experiences are while doing this project. That's what we're doing.
Hey Marty.
Hello.
So I guess for me this conversation is really about hearing from you about what it's like to be working here, running the place, whatever it is that you're doing here. I'm not fully understanding, so I guess that's what I want. I want to understand more about your role here and how it is for you actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And what you just said before our official start,
Yeah.
I found it quite interesting about how you have a certain vision and maybe you're not so sure if how to share this vision in a way that's clear for other people and that they really understand where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Was it something like that what you meant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so is that something you would like to share about?
Yeah, I guess
and I guess I also want to just check how you're feeling because I'm a bit curious, like...
Well, right now I find it weird to be myself, because we're getting recorded. So I also feel like because we start from a point where you already know what we're doing, but I don't know if people are listening, then maybe they don't know what I'm doing, So if I start straight from the part where it's about like my vision and how people interact with it, then it maybe becomes fake or something. So that's what I'm thinking about. Like, do I have to like introduce the project first instead of
You're
just
a bit worried and you want to make this project familiar to people.
right? Because I feel like a lot of people in the group and also in the Instagram they didn't come here yet because there's already like I see a lot of names that I've never set foot in this place. So
you wanna them to be able to imagine what it's like, what it looks like, kind of, and get a feeling of it.
yeah, maybe it's good. Okay, how am I feeling? Okay, right now I would say I'm a bit. We miss a bit of a structure. So it's very like we just started, and this is a transformational period in the building. And right now, today, for example, I was kind of off, but not really, because when I'm not here, then it's also there is nobody, kind of do these things. So I'm here anyways, and it's fine, because I also learned that one of the big things that I'm learning in this project is that if you're really working from what you wanna achieve, then it also makes sense in the sense that my work is more, it's not boxed in. So officially I'm free on paper, so to say, but I still feel that I need to go here anyways. And it's not a problem. Because I also feel like it's like I take this project and this is also my learning experience, right? So all these kind of things, it's very interesting because now I'm 26 now and I've worked different jobs before. If you work a different job where the structure is already set, you're just doing your thing there, right? So you have this very distinction between spare time and work. You go to work, you do your tasks, and then you're off.
So can I check, like, just that I'm following you, because it helps me also to slow down the pace a little bit. So you're saying that there's a lot of flexibility around this role because it's actually just something that you took on yourself.
Right.
And you're creating it as you go and learning.
Right, yeah.
But it also creates like a certain maybe pressure to be here all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of, I feel like it's necessary, but it's not a bad thing. Like, it's also necessary for my growth. Like, for me, Sangha Cafe is more like my it's like almost like my, it's like a study.
So it's like a way of exploring yourself.
Exactly.
Wow.
And this is not what I expected. I thought I'm going to set this up and it's going to work the way I want it to. And that didn't happen at all. Not even close, And there's a lot of different things that come with it, like all these kind of lessons. And I always make this metaphor, like I already took the shrooms. So the same thing, like if you take psychedelics, then you know that whatever is going to come, you have to kind of go through it. And this is the same experience, I feel, like not that I'm high or whatever, but like like we're open tomorrow again. So if I don't go through these lessons, then I'm just gonna suffer more every day. There's no I cannot run back for it.
So it's kind of like a snowball that's rolling and going up and down. Like this whole roller coaster, and there's no stopping it. Really.
There's no stop. No, that would be super weird. Like I have days that I'm like, but if I would stop, then it would be such a waste. So I would never, but I don't want to either.
So you also feel kind of driven to keep going even through the hard times. Yeah.
That's what I like about it. Actually, I thought I was gonna like the result of the product a lot, but I actually like the lesson part where you really don't have. It just comes. Yeah, there's no. You will always get pushed. So I get like a lot of push to act right and to make the right decisions and not run too much from fear and follow my intuition and it's like this weird kind of, but it keeps on going because I cannot run away from it. So it's like it's nice. It's like in the Netherlands we would say stok achter de deur. Is that what people say?
Like a cart after the horse or something like that.
That's something you always keep on going. Is like it's nice. Like when you have a personal trainer and you have to see him every week.
It like keeps you going.
So it's like my teacher as well. I would say. Yeah, it is my teacher. This is my teacher. This project is my teacher, and I'm learning to be able to facilitate it properly. And I can feel that's not where we are yet.
So on one hand, it's inspiring you to keep going, and on the other hand, you also see that there's a lot of work that you want to pick up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also, like, as we're speaking, I'm thinking I would really love to hear some examples of what you're talking about, because I have a sense that you're talking about certain moments.
Yes.
And I really enjoy hearing your stories.
Right. Okay. I can give you an example. To be honest, I also I want to let this be open for anyone to listen to, but there's also some things that I shouldn't talk about just to respect, other people or the structure in this building. But for example, last week we also talked, and I talked with a lot of people. I was very stressed because we had this stagnation period where not a lot of people came here, and I was very stressed about it, and I was constantly like, oh man, what's going wrong? Why people don't want to show up here? Do we need to change? Do we need to do different events? Do we need to promo more? Blah, 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 blah. And I was kind of in this anxiety rush for 10 days or something. Very frustrating. And I had some good talks with some friends. And then last Friday, I decided to not put any energy anymore towards what anxiety wanted me to do.
Okay.
So anxiety, from fear, I would say I wanted to get more people in, right? And from fear, I wanted to have more elements in the cafe. So different games or more different kind of elements, whatever you can think of. And I was really trying to change the structure of the what we do. And I talked to a bunch of people oh, we should have more this and that. Can you help me with this and blah, blah. I could just feel it was just throwing seeds in the sea.
Yeah, when the energy is
pooling.
Going everywhere, maybe I try this and and it's all very
fruitless, I would say. Yeah.
So you noticed that.
Yeah, and it was kind of dragging me down as well. I got sick also because I was kind of in this flow. I didn't like it anymore. I got quite depressed to go here, and I hated the place. And I was like, And then last Friday, I decided to, give it all up or something. And it was just a switch in my mind where I just said okay, we don't have much people right now. Because in the beginning it was really flourishing, right? And then we had this 2 weeks of stagnation or something. And a lot of people can maybe accept this kind of thing, but I have a hard time with it. For me, it's only about I want to grow higher and higher and higher and higher because I have big plans. I see huge potential, and maybe it's not going to be like that, but that would be surprising to me. For me, this project growing super big would be for me very how to say it would be
fulfilling.
No, it would be logical in this type of year, this type of this age of type, and this time of age. It will be logical considering all the facts, what people are busy with, the transformational period people are going through, this city, the youth in this city, that we have a lot of young people that are kind of looking for stuff like this. So for me, it would be very logical that it would be a big success. So I couldn't accept the fact that it was stagnating. And then I was constantly, from this anxiety and kind of lack, I would try to build stuff. And it would all fall down. And I got very frustrated. And then I said to myself, I don't know what I did, but something I could let it go all of a sudden. I was like, what? I don't give a shit anymore about who's going to come tonight. I don't care. I don't even care if people will come for the next week. So for some reason I could let go of this part, and then I just sat down on the chair, and it was at 4 p.m. or something, and normally at 4 p.m. I am kind of doing internet stuff and social media, so I let it all go. I was like, I'm just gonna sit here, I don't give a shit, I will see what next thing will come up. And then I had strong intuition to talk to somebody in this building about her experience. with me, with Sangha Cafe. And she's actually somebody that is really also involved and has a similar vision. And I've been here with her for 4 months, but we never even spoke. Because everybody who is built, like, we're one of the organizations, right? And there's more. So we have 3 foundations.
I want to just like ask you to take a moment to pause because you're giving a lot of information. It's great, and I'm sensing like so much enthusiasm, and it's amazing. And I'm just a bit worried about the people who are listening.
Yeah.
And like how much information they can take in, and yeah. I really enjoyed hearing this story about like this switch that suddenly happened, and then you're like, okay, whatever, I don't care if people are coming or not. I'm just like sitting back and relaxing, and we were sitting in this chair, and then suddenly like there was this creativity, like
it just popped out of nowhere.
I'll just go speak to this person.
Yeah, I don't know why. I have no idea why. Like, and I went there. Oh yeah, I should elaborate this more. You're right. Like, I shouldn't switch, because I had this talk with her. It was so good, and we actually connected very strongly. And I noticed that we have similar vision, but we just didn't talk. We were busy with our own work, and this is one of the things, that I think one of the things that comes with building this cafe is that we should harmonize the inner harmony of the people that are actually working in this building.
So it's like you want to involve all the people and include all the people that are around.
Yeah.
And like tune in. Is it something like that?
Yeah, because before, I was super focused on the end result of Sangha Cafe. And then I had this pull, it kind of pulled me in there, and I had this tunnel vision. And I was kind of in this anxiety flow, trying to make it bigger and more cool and blah, blah, blah. And then now, since Friday, I can see that there's different things that need to be done that don't really have anything to do with the product of Sangha Cafe. And now, all of a sudden, there's all kinds of new movements in my life.
Wow, so you're seeing like, I heard a few things. First of all, how like focusing on what's happening in the background instead of kind of the content.
Yeah.
And what's visible to other people is really important, really valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And also that focusing on that is also very kind of manifesting in your own personal life. Is that what you mean? Or like in your inner life? Or I'm not sure I got that right, so correctly.
What, say it again?
Just like you said that shifting the focus also brought a lot of change or a lot of movement.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what you meant with that, so maybe you can just say more about it if you'd like to.
So what I think I'm learning right now, which is maybe it's a law of, I don't know for sure, but I feel like it's like a universal law, where as humans, if we move in and our drive is anxiety, and then the drive is to build something that would get rid of the anxiety, maybe this is a wrong move. Maybe that's something that doesn't really work. It seems to work, but maybe it kind of fucks you in the ass after all.
So you're kind of wondering, like, when I move from this anxious place, what am I actually creating?
Right.
While if I take the time to relax and move from that place, maybe I'm creating a completely different energy.
Yeah. But it is weird for me to realize this, because I always had the feeling that whatever you want to create comes with strain and like hard work and this kind of, because that's what we learn, right? That work is hard and boring, and then you get to go home and then you can watch television to relax from your hard day of work. But maybe it's not like that, Maybe I want to do I really need to do what I want to do, what I really feel like doing, And if I get driven by anxiety, maybe I should just let it go. That's what I'm trying to do right now, I just let it go, and then I wait for something new. And then also inspiration comes, because I have a lot of this inspiration, but sometimes I don't move from it anymore because I get down into the anxiety phase. And then I work from there, and it's not fun, but it also doesn't bring any fruits, I feel. It's just this building this house on quicksand. And now there's like, it's funny because I was so busy. Like I worked here like 80 hours a week or something in the past. Like from the first month until last week, I worked a lot of hours, like all the time, constantly. And I was just looking for new work also, because I had this feeling like, yeah, full focus, all your energy in this project, you know, now it's the time to give yourself away. And now that I'm letting go of like some of these works, I have more time. And then also I get new inspiration and I do different kind of things.
So like what I'm hearing is that before you were working really hard and maybe we're feeling a lot of pressure to put in a lot of energy and focus into a new project. And now you're like, oh wow, I can actually sit down and relax, have some time for myself, and then I'm actually enjoying what I'm doing.
Right, yeah. And then I'm not really relaxing in a sense. I'm still in movement, because when I sit down and relax, I get new inspiration, and it also brings me movement still. So it's not that I really sit down a lot, but it's this whole different kind of work, you know?
Yeah, but it's a more easeful pace, maybe.
Yeah, it's more eased, but I think if you work from inspiration and it's still a lot of work, then it's not really a problem, I would say, because then it doesn't really feel like it, you know?
So it's like, even when you're working really hard, if you're inspired, it feels good and it's enjoyable.
Yeah,
you can put all of yourself in it.
Yeah, and then it's so different, because, I think if we can just, I don't know if this works for everyone, but I'm just gonna try to be in this inspirational movement or something, where it feels good what I'm doing, you know? And if it doesn't feel good anymore, or I feel anxious, you know, sometimes of course it's like not as black and white, because sometimes you're anxious for things that you kind of need to break, but I mean more this fear-driven lag state, you know? I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like that you really feel like, it's not good enough and it needs to be better, because
a lot of worrying and everything. This doubt in the background of everything, like, am I doing something wrong?
Yeah, I had so much doubt. Like, oh my God, I was so stressed all the time, you know, because sometimes it was not as busy. And then you have these Sundays where it's like a lot of people and it's really like, and then I'm like, I want this every day, but maybe that's not the time yet, you know, and then I'm just worrying about people coming in and people having a good time, and
So what I'm hearing is also like sometimes you have this part of you that wants to push and have like the same amount of people every day and have like a lot of activity and a lot of life around. And then there's this other part that's maybe like, but every day is different and just take it day by day, you know, like this day a lot of people are here, another day less people are here. I
guess I should not even focus too much on the result, but just work from passion only, and then just see what's happening. Because if the thing is, what I notice here is that in my mind, if I don't work from anxiety, it feels like I'm wasting time, you know, because for me, I think, again, like I have this idea about work, and it's this straining, hard, like, you know?
Yeah, so I'm hearing like there's like this belief in the background that you got from society or from growing up.
I think
like,
so.
What work looks like. It looks like this guy sitting in front of the desk and like banging his head on the desktop, and he's like hating his boss, and and it's like you're seeing this belief and you're like questioning it. Is this really?
Yeah, I think it's wrong. You know, maybe I should not even. Yeah, maybe just. Yeah, it seems weird. It almost seems like I don't deserve to do whatever I want to do, you know? It almost feels like, no, I should suffer. I should suffer more, you know? I should, like, be stressed more and make longer days. As in, like, that's what it is, how to be fulfilled, or, you know, be good enough of a human. I think that's the kind of thing that, like, there's one part of me that kind of says to me, like, you're only good enough if you constantly work on this project of yours. And then there's this other part, which is more from the heart, which says like, okay, there is also time for you to talk with people and maybe brainstorm some ideas and take some time for yourself. Let other people do work. And then also, since Friday, also a lot of people came to us to help with volunteer and stuff. It kind of also, what I also noticed is the moment that I let go of all these things that brought me so much pressure, it also seemed like the day after and Sunday, everything fell also into place, It was really funny because all kinds of people wanted to help on Saturday and Sunday, and it was like really easy for me. I was not very strained, even though Sunday was really busy. Yeah, it's funny. So I guess this is part of my school here, This is part of the Sangha school for me, like to learn to not work too much with fear and just follow your passion, and then, it will kind of sort itself out. I really believe that, even though it sounds illogical or something. A lot of people also tell me like, no, you need to like have structured volunteers every week, day to day, and you need to like think about
like all this pressure from the outside, like telling you how things should look like, and you're like, wait a minute, I actually have choice. I have autonomy. I can do it the way I want to do it.
Yeah, exactly. But I also really believe in this divinal, how the divine or whatever, God or whatever you want to call it. I really believe that that the fear thing is from the ego, right? Or it's like the ego trying to, whatever, make you distorted, not distorted, but like when there's
I want to stop you because I just find it very hard, like with concepts.
Yeah, me too.
Cool, nice. I'm happy I'm not the only one.
Yeah, kind of. The ego, what the fuck is it? I don't even know what that is. I only know myself as me, I don't have this distinction. Okay. Good point. Yeah, just cut me off.
I just noticed myself like...
Yeah, good. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Just kind of checking out,
Man, you should be like completely honest. We just pretend there's no cameras because we're not going to play games. That would be stupid.
Yeah, you want to really be honest and be yourself,
good.
And just like...
Yeah, it feels weird. Let me elaborate it better.
I guess you're talking still about this distinction you found of like moving from an anxious, intense place and the like more spacious.
The heart, maybe.
The heart, like relaxed, easeful place where inspiration can flow.
Yeah, creativity. And I also think that God gives you then what you need for this creativity. So maybe I'm scared to not work. Like, for example, I would have a talk with somebody and with a good idea, and it will feel good. For my intuition would say it's a good idea, but then the fear comes like, oh, but you have to stand behind the bar, and then I would just let it go and wait for the day, and then I get like a phone call at 7 from somebody like, hey, do you still looking for people for tonight? I have a day off and I want to help. This kind of stuff. So I really believe, like, it really seems like every time we get this kind of blessing where it seems to collapse, and my fear would tell me like, oh, now everything is gonna go to shit. But then at the point of where if we just trust and we just keep going back into this inspirational flow, everything always seems to work out. So this is like really like since this project, like I've been learning so many things. Like it goes like, and that's fun.
It's like keeping you on your toes, like
man. But I don't know. I notice all these blessings, and I notice how we can just trust, and these two modes. Yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting. I can talk for hours about like what I already learned just by being here, and it's not even like this. Yeah.
It's really fascinating you like how this is kind of mirroring so much.
Yeah, it's really like a school. So I would also, I don't know, for everybody that is hesitating to start a project that feels from the heart, but they have all kinds of reasons not to do it. Yeah, I feel like it's good to do it. Anyways, that's how it works for me. Because for me, it was also kind of a risk, I didn't know about money, and we didn't know if it was going to work out, and yeah.
So it's like you made a leap of faith.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and you wish this story also inspires others to do the same and follow their dreams, their visions.
Well, I not necessarily that I want to inspire it with this story, but I would love to see a culture here where this is how we inspire each other.
You mean this is how we inspire each other?
So I'm learning how to live from or work from the heart, and maybe if we all do that here, then we can also talk from the heart and inspire from the heart, and we kind of have this inspirational vibe or something
like
here.
A spiral.
And it goes like you come in and people are like, we're busy with this kind of stuff instead of all the anxiety from the world or whatever. I don't know what's gonna. I don't care what's gonna. Yeah, it would be cool, but
You're rooting for it, but you're also kind of like.
Yeah, I have this super big idea about the project, but we'll see what's gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Taking everything in. Yeah, I really love this. It also really resonates with me. This like moving from this easeful place. It's something that I've been realizing for myself recently as well, and I found it to be such a valuable lesson.
Yeah.
And it's not that easy to implement. I wonder if this also, if you find that relatable to like make that shift and be like, oh, yeah, I can do things not because I need to survive, but because I want to. Like, how does that work? Like, I didn't even really learn to find the things that I want, or like to do things because I want to do them. So that was also for me something that I needed to learn, like how to know what I want.
Yeah.
So is that something you can relate to?
Yes, yeah, for sure. I have a funny thing that came into my mind just now, which is a good example. I wanted to close the subject here, but since it came into my mind, it would be funny to share. So you were talking, and in between I had this feeling of, and a thought came, and it said to me, Marty, you should talk more about how people can help you in this project. And then I was like, okay, I don't want to talk about that, that's not really, for me, that's not really the flow or whatever. That would just be like, okay, yeah, let's do it. And I also had this anxiety rush, like what we're doing right now is not good, because you need to talk more about how people can help you, so people come and help you, and then we can la 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 la, So it was funny, like it just happened right after we took a break, because there's a moment of silence and I instantly get this anxiety.
So it's like an example of what we were just talking about.
Right. And I mean, to see what you want to I think if you put the intention, then the lesson will be how you can find it, right? Or is that not like how the life works? Like you put an intention, like I want to find what I really want, and then life comes to you in a way to show it to you or something, and slowly you go like step up, little steps, and then you find, okay.
Like the first thing is a choice.
Yeah, the choice to choose.
And orienting towards that, and then the rest kind of falls.
Yeah, I guess. But then you have to have this faith. And this is a hard thing, especially nowadays, because for me, it's a lot of faith, You can almost call me religious in this, because I'm really I do it just, and it doesn't make sense for my mind. My rational brain cannot really explain what I'm doing, but I just put my faith in God or whoever, and I'm just saying like, okay, I will move and work from a good place, from the heart, and show me if that's what I should do, and I hope everything falls into place. This is kind of my prayer, I would say, and I don't know if that's how life works, but that's my faith, maybe.
So it's like living in this uncertainty of I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
And at the same time, kind of leaning into, okay, I'm just gonna get feedback about what I'm doing, and
I guess.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, because the building also has a big transformation. There's a transformation in this building as well. Like, some people are quitting. The government is going to get more involved with certain demands. So this like the coming 2 months is very transformational period inside the building, with the foundations and with us. And Sangha is also a new project, so it's also need to take. It's gonna take more form, you know. So this is a really interesting period with not a lot of structure. So, you know, then faith maybe is good to have, because otherwise, if I have to like rationalize it, then it doesn't seem like it's gonna work. To be fair.
So there's also like. Yeah, I guess like all these things that we talked about, like kind of doubt and worry and anxiety and like all this stuff, because there are a lot of things that if you think rationally about, you can't really control them, or they're not really, it's not really in your power, but this other part of you that really just has faith knows that if you work from this place, then everything just works out.
Right, yeah, and it will attract the people that we need. For example, people are quitting, and we don't have replacements. And if you would see it from a rational perspective, this could mean, you know, a big problem. But, so we're in this team together. I don't know, for some. Yeah, we don't really worry too much, you know. We just feel like, somebody will come, or it will work itself out. But you know, actually, it's a big problem. But.
So it's a bit stressful that all these people are leaving, and at the same time, the team is kind of holding all this with like this lightness and this belief and trust.
Yeah. Our
team, trust.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because otherwise we would have stopped already. It would be like, oh, okay, no, you know. Yeah,
I mean, I was also hearing like that the team actually makes a big difference. Like, you kind of lean on each other and.
Yeah. We have, with the four of us, we are very much in trust. For sure, yeah, 100%. Yeah. That's why it's really harmonized also. We have a very nice team. There's not even like, we don't have, everybody works, we work for each other, you know, we do each other's work, but we don't have tasks. So, for example, me and Mick, we never talk about who's going to do what, because it always, I don't know, we just follow, this is interesting. That's also one of the things that I learned. I think your work, in a sense, the way you move as a human is also decided by your heart and not decided by your boss.
I have the idea that you had an example in mind.
Yeah.
And I want to hear that.
Well, for example, me cleans way more than me, and sometimes she cleans, and she's like cleaning, like hardcore clean. She's the fastest cleaner I've ever seen, and she works hard, you know. And it's like 12 o'clock, and I'm talking with somebody for an hour at the bar, not doing anything. But she does what she feels responsible to. And I feel also that I have to talk with this person. If you would see it from like a structure perspective, I would be very much in the wrong to not clean with her, you know. But we trust each other that we always do whatever is our responsibility by heart. And then it always works itself out. And I also think that all these rules about what you should do and when, and like in a work environment, I think it's more like, I don't play it like that, you know. If there's somebody that comes to me at 1 a.m. and this person wants to talk about something and it just feels like it's fruitful and relevant, I would talk to him until 4 a.m. And I have examples of this. And then I would clean after 4, you know, because I just feel like it's part of the thing, you know. So yeah, and me and Meek and Azza, we have this kind of dynamic where we just work whatever we feel like is our job, and but we do it. You know, we're not lazy, so we all work for each other. And some people, sometimes I don't do much on one day, and then the next day Meek takes off, and it all is synchronized.
So there's like a really beautiful way of flowing together when each person just follows their intuition about what they want to be done, and like when there's trust also that everyone kind of feels responsible to hold the place together.
Right.
There's just this knowing that all the tasks, quote unquote, are going to get done, and that things are going to get cleaned at some point, and the people that need to come in will be welcomed, and yeah. And
this is, exactly. And this is what I want to create with the community. That if we have this mindset together and you are here and you feel intuitively like, okay, I want to contribute to this, because I also feel like that's good for yourself, you know. And it's not that I want people to help me for my gain or something, but I think that if everybody like works like this, then it's also fruitful for everyone. Like it will be the fruitful for the community, because then we create this kind of heart flow movement. And this is maybe something that I would like to see here, and this is what we're trying to do.
Yeah, so it's like your vision is for just having this ground for people to come and just contribute from their heart whatever they want.
Whatever they want, yeah.
And for that to kind of just spread.
Yeah. And then it doesn't mean that everything always goes like 100% right. Obviously, I sometimes not do it from the heart, but I will learn then from Meek that maybe I was wasting my time or something, and then but it always
so there's also like this feedback.
Yeah, it's like this feedback, and then I learn from her, and she tells me like, yeah, okay, where you really like, where you're not just wasting your time instead of like doing something what's in your movement, and then and most of the times it's always like, yeah, I was kind of procrastinating, even though I felt like, yeah. So that's how we learn from each other, and I think this is one of the visions or something. Yeah, this is the vision. This is the vision. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out, but I think if that's, and I don't know if it makes sense, but if everybody follows the movement, natural, authentic, inspirational movement in here, together, then we will create this co-creation. And maybe that's what we're trying to do. And maybe that's why I need to learn it first myself, you know?
Like everyone needs to slowly move into this way of living where we're just in the flow and in the creation and in the words, and then everything just
But and that's why maybe I'm struggling so much, you know, because maybe, you know, it's just like, okay, you want to see this, and well, here's your lesson, you know, you have to do it. You have to also be able to do it yourself.
Yeah, because you want to create it in the outside, that needs to be inside, because your inside is reflected in the outside.
It's the same, for example, how I see it with girls. Like, I want to have this place where girls are not constantly bothered by guys that wanna like, I don't know, wanna get something from the girls, which is fine in a sense, but like, I would love to see a place where it's not where girls would go and be like, oh yeah, I'm probably gonna get bothered by 5 guys trying to get me drinks or whatever, you know. If I want to see this here, then it would be so weird for me to like constantly hit on everybody, right? So I think that if I want to, like, whatever I want to see in this place, then I have to also kind of embody it myself.
Yeah. I really like that. It's kind of like, it's also keeping you on track in a way.
Right.
Keeping you aligned with your vision, because there's like this place.
Yeah.
Like a physical place. It's not just like your behavior with yourself when you're like in a club and no one will know what you did, you know. Like now it's here and other people are watching, and like you're creating this as you're going. So it's kind of holding you close to your values in a way.
Yeah, you got me. I just hope that the listeners also get us, you know.
You're wondering how this sounds to them.
I don't know, it could be vague, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean.
No, but what you're saying, that's really what it is. Yeah, I really feel that. In that sense, it's really the teacher, because you have this place already, you know, so. I feel like this is something we can learn, we can use as people, because I think in society, it's not like that. Most workplaces are about profit, or it's really like ticking the clock, like go from 9 to 5, and you do this kind of work. There's not really like any creativity. Most of the jobs don't really have that, so there's not much input from the people. I mean, if you really want to follow your heart in your work, and you work in like a big company or something, then there's a big chance that it's not gonna kind of work in that structure. Never mind. It's not a good way.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We're not gonna cut it out, right? No.
No.
We're gonna need to be authentic. Okay, but let's forget about what I said.
I love that. Yeah, for me it feels quite like in a way round or so. I wonder how it is for you if there's still something you feel that you would like to add. Especially around the vision, I think that's really, like, we touched something really beautiful there.
Yeah, I think just whatever we do here, whatever movement we have, let's try to find which movement is from the heart and try to live with that, and let go of the fear-based movement. And it's in conversations, or even making projects together, or having group lessons, or whatever we're gonna do. I don't know. There's like potential is. We have so much space, and people are going to bring in all kinds of cool things. So whatever we do, let's do it from there, and then see what's gonna happen. That's kind of the vision, and I don't know.
This is the baseline for everything.
Yeah, I guess, and I don't know what's gonna be. It can be, maybe it becomes this or that or whatever. I don't know.
I have like an image. It's like taking a bunch of seeds that you don't know like from what plants they come from.
Yeah.
But you make like a really nice
Yes.
piece of land for them with like the best compost.
Yeah.
And like really nice environmental conditions, and then you just put the seeds and you're just like waiting for them to grow, and there's just gonna be all these weird plants. You have no idea what they're gonna look like beforehand.
But they will be hella tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Nice. I really need to pee, actually, if we're gonna be authentic.
Yeah.
So I need a break.
Cool.
And it also gives me like the feeling, okay, we end it here until the next time.
Yeah.
Sounds good to you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just like, okay. Yeah, I mean, there's so much to talk about, of course, but yeah.
I mean, we could also pause and continue.
No, but it's cool. I guess it's cool because it's like more of like I mean, I can talk about the activities, or we can talk about the way people interact here, blah 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 blah, and what kind of culture we are. But maybe that's not even like, that's constantly changing, anyways, And now we just kind of we cracked the kind of the baseline. And the rest doesn't really matter too much anyways, because, creation will create itself.
Yeah, it's also like leaving it open to evolve into whatever
of course,
it's gonna be.
Yeah, we should, because otherwise it's going to be straining again, Oh no, we're getting too much
to be like this.
Yeah, we need these kind of people, we need these kind of activities. I don't know, man. It can go anywhere. We can go, maybe we'll become a sports center. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Yeah, or a paintball hall.
Yeah, so it's also kind of like what I'm hearing is like really working with the moment as it's unfolding.
Yeah. Maybe I just want to say that I like it already, like a lot, how it's going right now. And I am very grateful for the culture and the atmosphere, and it's, man, the quality, even like sometimes it's busy, sometimes it's quiet, but I really love the quality. It's so hilarious for me to see that I have a certain kind of idea how it's going to be, and people just act that way. And for some reason, it's so crazy, man. I had this idea, like, I just want to have this place where people can just really come and feel at home and just easy connect. And so this is one of the last things I'm gonna say. I had this idea about one table which would be the open table, and this is the table where everybody goes to have a conversation with strangers or whatever, new people, and all the other tables would be closed, like private. And then what's really funny is that like it never happened like that. It kind of like sorted itself out. People would just like go to each other anywhere. And sometimes they would leave each other privately also. And like even on open tables, they would like, people would use it as a private table. And I thought I had to like put so much structure in this kind of place where that I had to like really regulate, like, okay, here is like this kind of idea and here's that, but it kind of like it already like kind of just happened anyways. So yeah, I like to see that so much. Like that's really what I really appreciate, like that the culture is already really resonating with what I wanted it to be, even though I didn't even put so much effort in it. It just happened, and that's good because
it's also just trusting the people to just tune in and feel the vibe, and they just like, it's just the right ground for them to feel free and follow their own impulses.
But that's such a miracle in a sense, right? Because why all of a sudden here it's such a different culture? That's so crazy. Like it's just like we have food and there's like a living room. Like there's a lot of bars like that, but it's very different. It's really crazy.
Magical, but
it's really magical. It's so crazy, man. I thought it would be like a lot of strain and hard work to make people like open and open-minded and stuff, but they already do it anyway. They step foot in this place and it's already this culture.
It's almost as if it's their inner nature.
Yeah. And then here's
the space where that they feel safe to
express it,
to connect with it.
Express it. Connect with it. Yeah. So that's what I really like about it.
Yeah.
And and I hope to see this culture, sustaining, and it's probably gonna sustain because it would be weird if it wouldn't.
Yeah, because for you it's also really enjoyable to watch this, and it's nourishing you.
Yeah. So thanks for everybody that comes here, because obviously, like if we were like a paintball hall, the value of the place would be that it would have nice guns and it would have nice sheds and stuff. But here, the value of the place is you guys. So it's not really like, that's very important. If it wasn't for like, if the community is not like nice, then this is it breaks the whole thing, So it's really like that's why I say it's a co-creation. It's not like fake humbleness or something. It's really what it is. It's about what people do here with each other. And
so it's really important to you that people understand how much they're valued and how much how much they're bringing in just by going in through the door, just showing up and having respect for each other and be authentic with each other and helping also, man. It's already we're so blessed with all the help. I mean, for me, that's also like so beautiful. This is actually what I wish to just contribute just by being here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what you're saying. And for me, that's like, oh wow, I can just go to a place and just feel like I have a purpose just by being there.
Yeah, it's like natural flow.
Yeah.
And for some people it could be doing the dishes, and for some people it could be just holding space for honesty or whatever, So everybody has their kind of movement here, and I hope people can all find it.
Wow. Very beautiful.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you for sharing, Marty.
Yeah.
And thank you for our team here in the background. You can't see Lex and Hauke. They've been very quiet the whole time so that the mic doesn't pick up on their mouth sound. Now I can hear them laugh.
Yeah, very professional guys, just sitting there, being all serious.
Yeah, we'll leave their numbers on the link or something.